so much for joining us today for our first session for end of summer sales series. Super excited. We're going to be covering our Canva tools today. So make sure you have a pad of paper, a pencil, write down notes. We have some great tricks and tools of the trade for the industry. I know that all of us have been riding this wave of real estate. And first and foremost, give yourself a pat on the back today to really come in and invest into your trade of real estate, right? You're in investing in yourself, and making sure that you're learning the tools of the trade in order to succeed and become better. So thank you so much for joining us today. We're so grateful to have you guys. My name is Julie Turner. I'm the corporate sales and marketer for MBH Settlement Group. Again, I'm here with my awesome partners, underwriting partners, Andrew and Tim Hooper, and we are super excited to have you guys here. So make sure you turn on your listening ears as I tell my kiddos, and have your pad and paper. We have some great tools to be able to take away today. Okay, so we have some great hands-on tools to take away and put into action, because as much as we are training ourselves every day about our craft, no results come if there's no action placed behind it. So we're here to help motivate you guys. We're here to support you guys, and we're here to help create these tools and put them into action. So if you have any questions, we want this to be as interactive as possible. Please don't hesitate to use the chat box. I'll be keeping an eye out on the chat box, and we'll be making sure to answer those questions to our best ability throughout the program. However, if we do miss a question, please know that we will go back through them and be more than happy to answer those questions at the end and or even after the session is over. If you work with MBH Settlement Group, we appreciate you so much in your partnerships. We want to continue to work with you. If you haven't worked with MBH Settlement Group, again, my name is Julie Turner. I'll make sure to put all my information out there if you need to contact me or contact me after this session, in order to hopefully get with you one-on-one to help work through your business and see how we can assist you in branding, marketing, and building those resources to get more sales at the end of the summer and beyond. So again, thank you guys so much. Andrew, thank you for being here. Tim, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I'm super excited. So get your notebooks and pens out, get that cup of coffee, turn on those listening ears, and you got.
Thank you. One of the best in the business. Just such a pleasure to work with you. Thank you for us today. So we're going to share a little bit of strategy, and then we're going to take you into the tool and try to show you how to do it. So there'll be a little bit of technology as we're going back and forth. That might be there, but that's kind of a little bit of what we're going to cover: strategy and how to go do it. Because Julie, you hit the nail on the head, and it made my heart sing when you said, without action, nothing happens. You know, my slogan is go execute, go get stuff done. We talk about stuff all the time, and sometimes we don't take the time to get it done. All right, Tim, well, let's get into it. And for everyone watching this recording, full disclosure here, there were technical difficulties during the live event. So this is a re-recording for you. We're going to cover everything we covered in the live event, and even go into some of the questions we got as well. So you won't be missing out on anything. However, if you do have follow-up questions, since this is a recording, please reach out to Julie, and she'll do her best to answer those for you. But with that, Tim, let's jump right into Canva's best tools and go through some of what we think can help you become very efficient and use Canva in a very practical way. So Tim, take us away.
Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. Thank you so much. And again, thanks to MBH for hosting this. We start the presentation off with the end in mind. Andrew Wright, Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. Think like a CMO. What does a chief marketing officer do? You know, before we get lost in the sauce of Canva, if you're like me, everything in there looks so shiny and it can be very distracting. So we want to take this program, unlike going to YouTube and finding out how to do a certain function, which anybody, by the way, can do. You could type in anything in YouTube, find little videos and on how to do specific things. We want to think about what are we generating out of Canva, because a CMO is responsible for driving revenue by increasing sales through marketing activity. So how is the content we produce going to have a good engagement so that there's with a great call to action, so that there is something we can generate, opportunity, sales conversation, dollars to the bottom line. So just think like a CMO as we get into Canva, and stay focused and design with a purpose. Keep it consumer centric, right? Really think through the eyeballs of the consumer. We're not going to do a ton of, here's all the stuff about us. We want to engage and ask a question and get them to click on something, right? So consumer centric designs, and then analyze and adapt as we share our content out. Analyze it and then adapt, and look in the market at things that are working well, things that you enjoy and like, and try to model that as well. In design, less is more.
I think it's important to look through our own eyes and how we consume stuff. When we're in person with realtors, I always ask people, show of hands, how many of you read every single post from all your realtor friends where you have a post with a bunch of words in it and it's describing something? And frankly, a lot of us will like it, but we'll skim past it. And so really get radical about what are the things that you stop and look at when it comes to content that is created, and then do that same type of content and start with the end in mind. So Tim, take us away on preparation for designing in Canva.
Absolutely. So preparation, couple of things to consider as we get in and set up our account. It'll make everything we do and touch within Canva much more efficient for us. So a lot of folks will start designing. I think take a moment and set up your brand kit, build it. We'll show you how to do that in just a second. Create some folders. Use folders kind of like your content planning and management, right? If you have social posts that you're going to be doing, if you have newsletter you're going to be doing, maybe you have events that you do really well, set those different folders up so that you can move your different templates and different projects to those folders. It'll make it so much more efficient. And also then you can time block and get into Canva with a purpose and design with a purpose. And then also leverage your team and invite collaborators. Maybe you have a marketing person on your team who can get into Canva with you and do some things, add some things. Maybe one of your kids, teenagers, want to get in and help design. They love this stuff, right? So just think like bigger, right? And so use the collaboration. So let's show how to do that real quick, Andrew, before we move on. I'm going to stop my share here and then share the back office of Canva for everybody watching along. So if we go to the home screen inside of Canva, and you all can see my face up there on the right. That's my account, right? And I've got my team set up here, the Energy for Sales team. You can come right down here where it says brand. Here on the left in the menu, click on brand. Now you'll see the Energy for Sales. Andrew and I have a podcast, Hang with the Hoopers, obviously Fidelity, National, family of companies. So we're going to go right up here to the plus sign, create a brand.
Well, Tim, while you're creating this,
yes.
You know, the brand kit is a premium feature. So some of the things we're going to talk about here come with the premium account, which is a monthly subscription with Canva. Many brokerages that I speak to for realtors, you guys have an account that you have access to, or so check with your brokerage owners and managers, see if you have one of those. If not, it's a rather small investment to make if you're going to be using this tool consistently.
Yes.
As we'll show you in a minute, starting with creating your brand kit saves you, I'm talking a huge amount of time when it comes to actually designing your social media posts and your presentations or your one-pager listing, like whatever you're making. When you have a brand kit, it saves you a ton of time on the back end. And I'm going to show you exactly how it does that. But as we're creating it, just keep that in mind. It may be worth the investment to do this so it can tee up all your designs and make that part very easy for you.
Andrew, what are we talking? $14.99 a month?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a large investment. And really, Andrew, I've consolidated all of my marketing, all of my presentations. I don't even use PowerPoint anymore for the simple fact that Canva is easier. So whatever you're doing, marketing, presentation-wise, speaking out in the community, Canva can be your one-stop shop. And for $15 a month to be that versatile, Andrew, is huge. So
absolutely.
What's so beautiful is once we get the logo here, MBH Settlement Group, right? We're going to scroll down here, and what the AI has done within Canva is it's grabbed all the colors. These are CMYK codes here that if in fact, if you had those and you were going to go do some print, your printer might ask you or you're going to do some design with somebody else, they would ask you for these codes. So it's pretty cool. You might already have these in a brand kit somewhere else that you can import here or add your own, but this has pulled them off the logo for us. We're just going to simply click keep. and those will be there. Now, Andrew, I'll let you add some color here. For sake of time in the training, we won't set up fonts, but this is very powerful when you add, say you like impact, like the font of impact for like titles in your flyers or whatnot. You can simply click here and type in impact. So that your title page then for your newsletters, right, would look like so. And then you can set all the way to subtitle, heading, body, right? And usually in the body, you're going to want a sans serif. So I think there's a Canva sans serif that's really good for body, but that just gives you the little feet. It looks better. Or did I do that wrong? Maybe it's the sans. Maybe it's a different. But anyway, you want the little feet for the body.
Yeah, and just go ahead and add the sans serif there, Tim. That's perfectly fine, and that's great because we'll demonstrate how this looks. As far as the color palette goes, you can get a little creative with this. Tim, if you want to go back up to the colors real quick for me,
yes,
please.
Sir. Yep.
So on the colors, again, once you upload the logo, or if your logo is just your picture, you upload your picture as the logo. You can add more pictures down the bottom. It's going to pull all applicable colors from that logo right above where Tim already showed you. But sometimes there's only 4 or 5 colors in that logo. You want to add more. So you can absolutely go in there and add some colors that complement those. Your brand may have a list of colors that it allows. So check with your brand. And again, you can simply just type in that number. These numbers are universal to all colors. Every color has a number assigned. So if you type in that number, it's going to pull the exact same color as your brand. So you can add multiple colors, and it just gives you some variety when you're designing, which I'm going to show you here in about 5 or 6 minutes when we get over to that part of it. So that's your palette. Tim, thanks for adding a couple fonts because that'll help. And then if you find that you have a lot of photos that you're using in your designs, and this would be like your headshots, these would be things that you might have a picture type overlay or something you've created that you want to save. You're going to use these a lot in your designs. Put them here because I'm going to show you where you can easily access them later, being that they're a part of your brand kit. So again, create this. Does not take long to do. And, check with, again, if your brand has specific fonts. I find most brands don't, so you can get creative with your own fonts. But a few key things with fonts. Try to stay away when it comes to design from a lot of the calligraphy type fonts. We want to keep it easy to read, bold, very clear. When we're designing and putting words on a social media post or on a video that we're making, we really don't want it to be calligraphy or hard to read on a screen. So just keep that in mind from a design perspective.
Yep. Awesome. Great stuff, Andrew. All right. So then we've got the brand kit set up. Another thought here is we're going to go into, again, let's go back to home here. Underneath projects, you'll see the folders here, projects.
Yep.
We can just add folders. So if you look here, we have some set up already. We've got, our events folder here, our online platform folder. We've got the Canva training for today, right? Different things we're doing, training presentations. You can set up all sorts of folders for different things, different programs, campaigns, events that you're doing. It just helps to stay very organized. So setting up folders is as simple as going up here to the top, add new folder, and bam, take it away. And then if you have a team, you can also share that folder with the team right here. All right. So then let's close out of that. The last thing we wanted to touch on, I'll just switch back here to this presentation that you can see here, is leveraging your team and collaborators. And simply where you're going to do that is you can build a team within your account. You can go to account settings and then look into your set up a team right there. And all you're doing is putting their email address in there and inviting them in. So Andrew, what else would you add before we go back?
We're going to show you, you don't have to necessarily pay for a team's account to do that. Once you're in a design, if there's someone else on your team, maybe your assistant or your transaction coordinator or somebody that you want to have access to some of your social media designs, or they're going to help you. When you're in the design underneath share, you can go ahead and add them right there to anyone with the link can access this design. So, and copy that link, email it to them, and then they can edit or they can view, and you can choose those options as Tim's showing you on the screen. So a very easy way when you're inside the design, in this case, our presentation to you today is one of our designs. We're hitting share, we can share that link out. So Tim, thanks for sharing that. Great.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into actually designing, right? How to pull some templates, how to design, and some of the tips and tricks. around designing that. So at this point, I'm going to share my screen and get into some of the template pieces and how we can, few shortcuts and tips and tricks and best practices, if you will, to make life easier when it comes to designing.
Absolutely.
So Tim,
Make
if you
sure
want to
you
allow
can-
me to share, and
There you go.
and we'll get rolling here.
There you go. Good stuff.
Right.
A little bit of
Awesome.
preparation, and it's just watch the magic here. It's going to go a long way. So we've got our preparation done.
All right. So I'm in mine. You can see my face up here. This is my account. So the first thing I want to just open your eyes to is with Canva. I think sometimes we're tempted to feel like we need to go up here to create a design and just start from scratch, right? Oh, I need an Instagram post. So let me start from scratch. Well, instead of doing that, to save yourself time, go right here into this search bar and make sure you've chosen templates. And here's a quick hack for you. Search the specific platform and type of post you're looking to make. So in this case, if I'm looking to do an Instagram post, I'm going to search for an Instagram post. You can search for a carousel Instagram post, one that goes side to side to side. For this one, let's just do an Instagram post. Let's say that we're doing a open house post. So we're going to highlight an open house that we're doing. So you can take this plus sign and do open house. And this is just a little hack when you're searching. If you do whatever you're looking for, post plus a theme or a type of thing, it will pull up all the templates for that specific theme. So use that plus whatever you're looking for. I was watching a tutorial on it the other day, and someone was like, I want to do quotes every Monday, like Motivational Monday. I want to post a quote. So they had all their quote, but they searched quote plus real estate. So then it pulls up templates that are geared towards real estate. I saw someone who was a little more in the spiritual side, do quotes plus Jesus. So it's like, whatever you want to do there, you can do whatever you want to do. You can quote plus something. So we're going to search quote plus open house. And guys, as you can see, I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of templates are going to pull up. And this is where it can get really easy to get lost in the sauce. So what I recommend is find one that fits your style visually. Don't look too much at colors. I'm going to show you how to change that up pretty easily. And I normally don't go too deep. I just find one that looks like it will work for me. One little tip here. If you see this little orange crown, that means it's a pro template. So if you are not paying for an account, you want to avoid any that have that little crown, as it'll put a copyright mark across it and it have a watermark in it. So you don't want to choose something that's a free version, of which there are plenty that don't have the crown. So you'd be able to do that. So for example, let's use this one here, green minimalist. I like this one. Of course, green is not my brand color at all. It's blue, yellow, and white and gray. But we're going to customize this template. And one other navigational tip, anytime you go to customize something, you're going to see it open a tab here at the top of the browser. And that's how you can navigate. You just go back to that home page. And now I'm in the template that I opened. So the first thing we're going to do is, how does this correlate to the brand kit? Great question. So we created our brand kit. Over here on the left-hand side, this gray menu, this is your navigational beacon, as our friend Jimmy Buffett likes to say. Yeah, over here. This is how you're going to navigate through anything you need to build your post. But once you have your brand kit set up, the first step is come here under brand. And as you can see, we have a couple different brand kits. I can see the MBH one that Tim just created. So we're going to choose that brand because we're designing for that. We have our logo there. We have our colors and our color palette, which is just one color because Tim only added one. So as we're under brand templates here, we can hit colors, and right here, this shuffle button, if you just hit that, look what happens to the post.
Wow.
Just click shuffle. It's going to combine these colors in different formats from your brand to allow you to choose what you like and what really works. And as I'm clicking through these, I like that one, and I like that one. You know what? I like that one because MBH, that maroon color really pops out there in the background. I like that. So this is almost done if it's me, right? We have our fonts here. And I'm seeing here with the brand template, I'm not sure why that, let me go back here one sec. Trying to apply apply it to the kit, Tim, and I'm not seeing that. But it could be because we didn't create all the fonts. But all good.
Gotcha. Is the fonts down below? Are the fonts down below? I think they're down. Just go down a little bit. So you can click newsletter where it says
yes,
newsletter.
Sir. Yeah, but it's as you can see here, if you just click it, it's just going to add it. All good.
Gotcha.
So again, you can also great kind of tip to jump into, because this always comes up, is how do you change the text? So the first thing is, well, Andrew, these aren't my open house pictures. You're right, they're not. But what's cool is this is just what's called an image grid. So if you're in InDesign, this is just a little extra tip here. Underneath elements over here on the left, if you ever want to add multiple pictures to a post, you're going to look for a grid. And what you're looking for is one of these that has clouds and sky and green mountains. What that means is you can drag and drop pictures into whatever format this looks like.
Beautiful.
So this one here would be 3 side-by-side pictures. This one would be 1 big one and 2 small ones. Okay. So for this case, I'm like, you know what? I only have 3 pictures I really want to show for my house. So in this template, I like the template. I'm just going to delete this grid. So I'm going to highlight it and click delete. Delete grid. And I'm going to add one where I'm just going to highlight 1 big picture. Let's see here. I'm going to do 2 and 1, just like this. Oops, hold on. And I don't want it to be the background. So what I'm going to do here, folks, is if I got messed up, that's not what I wanted. This little button right up here, undo is your friend. I click undo, it goes back to normal. So instead of clicking it, go ahead and just left click and drag over. And it should detach. We might have to detach it from the background here. Let me do that. There we go. It wants to automatically fit it to the screen. So I'm going to resize this however big I want it.
Beautiful.
And then this brings up, now it's like, no, Andrew, that disappeared. And this is where we start getting frustrated with templates, right? So the first thing is we can replace some stuff. Now this is called an element. This banner here is called an element. This is an element. Everything here is an element. So that's a key word we're going to talk about. You want to layer these elements. So right now, this purple band is layered in front of the grid that I'm adding. So I need to move the grid to be layered in front. So all you're going to do is simply right click where it says layer. And I'm going to say bring forward. And now my image grid is in front of the banner. And I can go ahead and size that exactly where I want it to be. Drag it out. And then the other cool feature is when you're left click holding and moving around, you can see how these purple lines pop up. It's going to help you center everything exactly where you need it to be. So that's perfectly centered in the post. It's ready to go. Now I'm ready to add my pictures. Now I don't have any open house pictures, so I'm going to use some stock images today. But this also highlights one of my favorite features in Canva, which is your elements button over here.
Yeah. And just real quick, can I add one thing, Andrew? The best way to get your picture. So you've been out to the open house, you've used your nice high quality phone, right? Camera, ching, snap pictures, have the app downloaded on your phone. I don't personally like to edit in the application. You can, some people do, but use the application to upload. And right in the bottom band is upload, allow access to photos and videos, and you can upload your photos and your videos straight from your phone. Then when you're back in Canva in the laptop desktop version, they're all there in the uploads folder. So if Andrew had open house pictures, he would just click on the uploads there on the left in the left menu and be able to find all those right there because he uploaded them from his phone. So just a quick tip there, because you're most likely going to have them on your phone. Don't try to email them to yourself and then upload them. Just upload it into the app from your phone, and then they'll be able to be in the desktop version. Yeah,
and where you would go once you upload is right here under uploads in your left menu. Uploads, and then you're going to see any images that you've uploaded from your app. I have a whole bunch in here, any videos you've uploaded, et cetera, et cetera. For this, though, we're going to go under elements to find some stock photos. So I'm just going to do home, house. I'm just going to find a random house. Find a picture that I like, and under photos, you can hit see all. So if you're trying to just make some general collateral, you can do that, right? Not too hard. This one looks good. Now I clicked it and it's like, oh, I'm going to go where I want, right? Okay, cool. So just grab it once you put it over here and drag it into whatever grid of this photo box. As you can see, it's going to pre-fill it in there, whichever one I want this in. So I'm going to put this one right there. Now it's a little off-centered. Perfect. When you're using a grid or you're adding a photo to a photo frame, which is going to be similar, the green hills, the blue sky, you double click and it's going to show me that entire photo, and I can drag this within the parameters now of that. So I can really make the house stand out there. So there's my house.
You said you double click? You double click on the photo?
That's a double click. So double click to move it around within the grid. And you can also drag that and make it bigger. So maybe I want the house to be more superimposed. I just drag it and now I have a little more wiggle room to move it around side to side.
Beautiful.
Good?
Yep.
All right. If you need me to go over something again, Tim, just let me know. The other piece here, so same thing, I'm just going to do this quickly now for the sake of time. I want to highlight the nice kitchen in this house. We're going to say this is the kitchen. That looks about right. And that already looks good. I don't need to really resize it. And then we're going to highlight the
bathroom.
I don't know.
Always.
Master bath, maybe master bedroom. Let's do that. Oh yeah, that looks real nice. Great bedroom right there.
I like your house. Cool. I like your house there, Andrew. Great.
You know what? Great. This is exactly how my house looks. So
there you go.
You know, okay.
So
here's some stock images, right? Yep. So very simply, now I'm going to go over text. So, you know, we were trying to apply, and I'm going to give you a quick example here. Again, under design, under styles, we have our different brands here. So here's what I wanted to show you. So at the top of your menu, design, we have our brand down here.
Yeah.
At the top, we have design. Make sure we're under the right brand, which in this case we are. And then here's your fonts, right? So if you just click this, it's going to change the fonts to match whatever fonts you've put in for these types of words.
Beautiful.
And then here you can also shuffle through the colors. So once I've designed, I can actually shuffle back through and see if I still like it. And I do. And actually, you know what? I think the blue one looks a little bit better. So I'm going to stick with that. Now, how do we make the fonts bigger? Great question. So this is a text box. You just select it on the left. Right up here, I might be like, you know what? I really want to have that impact font. So I'm going to change that, open house today. And I kind of want it all to be on one line. So again, when you're in a text box, and I'm going to just zoom in here a little bit for us, make it easier to see. You can double click to get in there where your little cursor is blinking. Now I can bring that back and space it out and have it all in one line. And same with anything else. Once you're in there texting, you need to click out the box to move it around, but I can move this right around where I want it to be, get it centered and put it right there. And I might want this to be a little bit bigger. Really draw attention to it. And and that's great. That's a nice big size. Now I like that. And I might want to change the color. So right up here under, I feel like Bob Ross right now talking about my paintings. But right now, as I'm going through this, might want to change the color of the text. Yeah. This is another cool thing here. Whatever brand colors you set up, those are already going to be here for you. And then based on the photos you added right here, it's going to give you photo colors.
Photo colors. Beautiful.
Which is great. So maybe I want to match my text to something in one of the photos, which that looks a little not great. Or I just want to use one of my brand colors. That's what I would do. So in that case, that's what I'm going to do. And simply the template has a set time. Just double click to get in there and you can move your cursor around here. Maybe we're doing this from, 9 to 11 a.m., not p.m. You're just going to change those out and set September, let's say 14th.
Great.
And now I'm going to put my information right below, and we can even, again, make all this a little bit bigger just so it pops a little bit more. And at the end of the day, that's as easy as it is to design a template. Now, Tim, I want to show a few other tips and tricks to moving things around. Yeah. So what's the first thing that I should show as we're designing? That's a little tip for it.
Maybe we leave this one the way it is and jump over to the Canva training folder where we have the one where you have my mugshot with my pointing finger with the background. Because I think that one is, we should show setting the background, actually applying a whole massive background to something.
Absolutely. Let's do it. No, we'll do a few tips on how to do that. So this post, in my regard, it's done. The only difference for you is you're going to have your own photos for this open house. Now, what you're going to do, Tim's talked about creating folders. This is going to be an Instagram post. So I'd have a folder if I'm a realtor for Instagram posts, or maybe for all my social media posts. Because honestly, this can be posted on Facebook, Instagram. This can go anywhere. I'm going to hit share. I'm going to go right down here to more. And I got to move my little video box out of the way here so I can see this. And right near here under share, I'm going to hit save to folder. And this is where I can choose whichever folder I want to save it to. So if you already created those, if not, you can create one right here, create new. Name a folder and then add it to your new folder if it's the first time you're designing. So that's how you would save that design. The cool thing is this is all cloud-based. So if you leave and exit out of this, it's not going to disappear. It's still going to be there for you.
Beautiful.
So I can go right up here. I don't have to worry. It's totally saved. I can close that out. And then when I go home, And again, just a navigational tip in Canva, just click this Canva button to go to home.
Yep.
If I go under my recent designs and I refresh, it will show up right in my recent designs as well.
Beautiful.
Right here. And again, I can rename this open house template.
And or you could
the
even
other thing I want to highlight,
address, like street addresses or whatever.
Street address, whatever you want.
Yeah.
The other thing I like to highlight, if you're going to just use the same post for the sake of efficiency, you can always just come back to that post and just swap out the pictures for your next one and swap out the details. So again, don't go reinvent the wheel. If you find one that works for you,
yep.
This is not selling you the home. This is just driving awareness. So you want to have a good process that's efficient. You don't have to have too many different variations of your posts.
It's great.
So with that, let's get into one, Tim, where we can actually
maybe
here's one that I'll get into. This one's a little butchered, but I'll give you some demonstrations of how to actually design. So
let's do the background first.
Yeah, what I'm first going to do is I'm just backspacing, guys. I'm just selecting and backspacing. So I'm getting this post down to nothing. So let's say I want to do a post about a specific home that I'm highlighting. It's a new listing that's coming soon. I can go right over here to elements. Again, you're going to have a picture of this home uploaded, but I'm just going to look again for house. And we'll use a similar one. I think this is the which one did I choose? There we go. Let's use the same one. So I bring that picture in. Cool. Well, what do I want to do with this? I want to build a post, maybe just listed post. Reach out to me. So the first step is, how do we make a picture a background for your post? Once you got the picture, just right click, go down here and set the image as background. So now it's going to bring it in, and the same rule applies if you need to adjust it. Double click on it to move it around. So I double click, I can move that house around to make it centered right where I want it to be.
Beautiful.
And I was like, that looks great. Well, what else do we want to add here for just listed? Well, go to your elements here and search for just listed. See what comes up. See if there's something we like. There we go. That's a just sold. That's a good one. This just in. That's also pretty cool. You can put a little this just in.
Hey, Andrew, can you do the just listed there down below and remove the background from it? Sure.
So we add this photo. We'll see how that works on this photo, but let's give it a whirl. So another feature, and this is a premium feature, and it makes everything worth it, honestly, for Canva, is background remover.
Yes.
This is really great for photos of yourself. I'm going to give you an example of this. But if this is just listed, let's try it here. So we have our just listed photo selected. We could resize that, but that looks really tacky because of the background. So we're going to see if it works. Tim, I'm not sure it will because it's not a person, but let's give it a whirl.
I'm not sure either, but it has good rough edges. So we'll see.
Background remover right here. BG remover tools. Edit photo, background remover. And let's see what happens. It worked. Tim, you were right. So now we have a nice just listed.
That's rare. That's rare. Save that one.
A nice just listed. It's good. And it's great. So another tip here. Everything right now is at a perfect 90-degree angle, right? So maybe we want to give it a little twist. Well, how do we do that? Well, select the element and look for around the border somewhere. You have some different tools. I can delete it. This little button duplicates if I wanted to do another one, which I don't. So I'm just going to delete that. And then over here, this little circle guy is your rotate. So I can left click and hold, and I can move this around. We don't want to get too crazy with it, but I can give it a little French, and it looks nice. So it's right up there, just listed, right up in the sky, calls attention to it. Now that's great. The other piece we might want to do is like, well, Andrew, I want to put my picture on here and I want to say some words. Wonderful. So a little design tip when you're dealing with pictures, rectangles, squares, and circles are your friends. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, right here in elements, I'm going to give you an example. Let me find a white rectangle. All right, here we go. I like this one. I'm going to bring it in. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to size this up. And if you drag it out of the screen, that's totally okay. You can just pull it around wherever you need it. I'm going to put this right down here at the bottom because I want to have a place to put some writing, right? So I'm going to put that right there at the bottom. And now I have a little banner across the bottom to use. Another tip you can use, maybe you wanted to do a bigger banner, but you don't want to take away from the home. This is a tip that works for any picture. Right up here, any element you've selected, you see this little grid right here, transparency. So if I did this for the background, I can make the background more transparent, Or in this case, I actually want to make my banner more transparent. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to make this a little transparent so we can see through that a little bit.
Yep.
So again, just as a design element, you can play around. Transparency is a really nice tip here on how to make your designs pop a little bit. The next thing I want to add is my photo. So let me go down here and find there we go. So I'm going to bring that right in here. So I got my big old photo here. Now to Tim's point, we're going to do this background remover again. So I'm going to hit edit photo and use background remover and watch what happens. So now it's just my headshot right there, ready to roll. And I don't need to be that big. I'm going to bring myself down just like so. And now I'm ready to roll with this. Now I can say, okay, do I like that that's up near my head? Do I want to bring this down near my shoulders? Do I just want to have this say, my name and contact info? Perfect. Well, if I want to add that, all I'm doing over here is going to text.
Yeah.
And adding a text box. And I can drag this down where it needs to be for any pertinent information that I want to have.
Yep.
New listing. Maybe I put the address below it with a body of text. And I put the address 123 Anywhere Lane. Make that a little bigger. And as you can see, guys, this is really the beauty of being able to simply design background. Tim, what else should I show?
Why don't you group that text in case they want to move it to the top or the left? Say they put their name and phone number. Now you have 4 text boxes and you want to move all that up to the top or down to the bottom. But man, moving each one of those individual items, that can get burdensome. So show us how to group it all together and move it once.
Sure. So one of the things with text is once you've put it all together, new listing, anywhere street, maybe you put, I'm going to do it just to make this even more applicable. Let me zoom in here so we can all see this a little bit better. Make this bigger, new listing. And I'm actually up here, just like any Word document, guys, we can align these. So I'm actually going to do left align over here. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this one. We're going to do a left align. Anywhere Lane. And then I want the same font for my next line. So guys, this is where duplicate with text comes in handy. So I'm just going to select this box and hit this duplicate. And then right here, I'm going to be able to put in, 5 bed, 3 bath, 2,400 square feet. All right. So let's just say that's what we want to have here, right? Now it's a little off-centered. Well, rather than go move all 3 to be perfectly centered, what Tim's talking about is grouping. Grouping is so powerful. The first thing here is you do have to remove your banner because a banner will be included in the grouping. We don't want that. So I'm just going to drag it up for now. And then I have my words. I'm going to hold down a left click and just drag. You see how this little purple box is expanding? Yes. As long as it's highlighting those texts you want, those 3 lines, I'm going to hit group. Now all these 3 now move as a single element.
Beautiful.
So this is absolutely a great tip. And then you can bring this box back down. And maybe I only want it over here. Maybe I only want it over here. You can play with that. You just let your imagination go a little bit. And then I can now bring the words and get them centered here wherever I want them to be.
And then ungrouping is pretty easy, right? You just click on that group and click
same thing. So if it's like, hey,
to...
I need to replace one or whatever, click right back on that group and hit ungroup. And that's all you got to do. So again, to group, left click, hold, and drag this purple box over whatever elements. It's not just text. I could group now, since I have all this, I could group all 3 of these things, my picture, the banner, and the words. I could group all those together. So now the whole thing moves simultaneously. Beautiful. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does, Andrew. I mean, between setting the background, adjusting the transparencies, we found some elements going over there to that left menu over there. We've layered the elements. Did you go through the positioning where you can position forward, back? We covered that. Where you
layering
the layering. Yep.
Yeah, we did layering, but I'll give another example here. I might want to layer my photo, just a different look. So first we're going to ungroup all of these, click out of it, and then I have my photo. So let's say we don't make this background transparent. We have it fully bold. So I can take my photo right now, which is the front layer. As you can see, it's over this banner, but behind the words, right? So I want to send that behind the banner. So we're just going to click on that layer, send backward, and now I'm behind the banner. So I can actually have that come down, maybe do this little number like that.
And
Yeah,
say you
and then
wanted
the
to
other-
put
this
your
is-
contact information.
Yeah,
in.
so here's what I was
Okay.
going to show. So
Yeah.
I would go down here then and find, so I have a QR code. That's my contact info, right? If you're making this post, maybe you're putting this is going to go out in a mailer or something, who knows? But I could shrink this down and I could have my QR code right here in the middle. And again, I kind of like this in front now that I look at it. So I'm going to bring this back down and maybe I have my QR code like this. And that QR code could scan right to the listing so that someone can click on it and immediately see all the photos that could click to anything you guys want there. So it's, again, pretty cool. A lot of things you can do. And again, like I said, you can mess with this to see what you like and how it looks and just make it work for you.
Your creative itch. You're scratching that creative itch. I love it. That's great.
Well, I hope this is demonstrating how you can really, move around, navigate. Yeah. And this was a post more from scratch, but when you're doing templates, same thing. You might want to remove some elements, add some in. And another thing I want to show, it's just a tip. I know we have more to cover, but since this is a recording, we're going to go a little more in depth with it. Since we're not live right now.
Yeah.
So under elements, I do want to show you another just little hack here to look for like background elements. And what I love about this is if you want to put a little pizzazz to your post or give it a little something extra, underneath graphics here, you can find a lot of various elements to give it like a little bit of an extra something. And let me show you what that looks like here. So maybe you want to bring in a little, like some of this just in like the corner of the yard to give it like a little bit of character, like something like that. With a house, it may not look the best, but there are some definite things you might want to do. Sure. You can bring in like a little bit of a, now of course this is over me. So again, I'm just going to layer, send backwards. I got to do it again. I could say just layer and I could say send to back. And then now I have a cool little extra element behind that just, again, adds a design flair to it if you want. You don't have to do that. You can, but I just want to give you that example because I think it's cool that some people don't know you can kind of add some of this extra something to your posts.
Andrew, I know we're going to talk about video in just a little bit, but before we get out of this graphic, can you go to animate? Just because I know we're going to cover animations later briefly, but we'll just touch on it briefly later because I think this post is the perfect post to show what animation could look like and actually turn what we call static into dynamic, right? So this is just.
I think I used the word stale incorrectly the other day. What we meant was static. So a static post, nothing's moving. So when you post this on social media, you're simply getting a stale, like a hard post. Nothing's moving. So let's talk about animations. So this is especially cool for texts. I might want to select my texts here and I'm going to go ahead and group these so I can select them all. And if I select this entire element here, I can go into animate and I can choose some different types of, I can make this banner do different things. I can make it breathe. That doesn't look good. The wipe looks okay. Let me layer this, bring to front. There we go. Bring this one forward, layer, bring it to front. There we go. So we're back. Now, the other thing I can do is I can click on this guy, same thing, animate, and I can make this one do more like a stomp. Boom, just
that looks good.
That comes in.
That looked real good.
And then I could take the house and do the same thing, and I can make this one breathe. So you can mess around with this, but I know breathe will look good. And the house is just going to kind of grow in the background. See what's happening there?
Yeah.
Now this one isn't working, so we got to change this one. But let me move that around here.
And maybe you don't want everything, right? Maybe you just want
you don't have to. You don't have to, but and if you have something there and it's animated, you just go in here and remove animation. So, and then to test it, you go up here where it says play. Now, what this just did, it took a static post and it made it into a 5-second MP4, like a video. So this is now something you could add music to and upload as a reel or as an Instagram video or a Facebook video, as opposed to just a static post. Yeah. So if you click play, it's going to give you an example of what that looks like. Boom. So everything comes in. There's some movement. It's playing, right? You see that again. Boom. Just listed. It's coming in. There's some movement. So again, a great example. You don't have to go crazy with animations. Simply making the background breathe or doing the stomp on the just listed, that can just give a nice little extra pop of something
good
to what you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Good point there. Yeah.
And I think
there's one other piece since we're going deep on text. You can do one other thing here I like is effects for text. So I can make I can make it glow a little bit like that new listing. Like I can try some different styles to see like, do I want to add a little extra to it, right? And I kind of like that. So it's kind of like new listing has a little bit of a border. So it just gives it a little more of a pop, a little more of a standout.
Good stuff. And I think we've covered a lot of the tips and tricks. Again, so much more once you're in here. Like Andrew likes to say, I quote him on this all the time, it's easier to steer a moving car. So get in here. Andrew, what I really appreciate you doing was taking that down to the bare bones and building it back up. Because I think that sometimes just realizing we can start with, click on create a design real quick, bro. If we just start fresh with that purple button up there and you can just talk about an Instagram story or find the template. So you can just start blank slate. Sometimes a template will actually maybe throw us off or inhibit our creative design. So start blank, but you can start with a TikTok reel, an Instagram reel, Instagram post. Yes.
Yeah, and we're going to get into the video piece here just after this. So with the templates and what you're designing yourself, something just to steer away from, a very important tip here with social media is you don't want to have so many words in your posts. The algorithms recognize if there's a lot of words included in a picture, and they'll actually suppress your posts thinking you're trying to advertise, which we all are, but you're not paying them to do that. So they're not going to show it to as many people if you have a bunch of words in it. So less is more when it comes to words. Just keep it to the bullet points.
Good.
Have a QR code or something that goes to more of the details, or have a call to action in your caption that you type below that says DM me for more information, or call me to get a showing set up, whatever it might be. You don't have to write all that out. Just put something basic about what it is, and then give your call to action in the caption.
Very good. As we go through here, Andrew, let's go over the website, and we'll just touch on this briefly.
Great.
But
yeah, so let's actually do that. Let's actually do that with our presentation. So I'm in here with our presentation, right? Now, the website feature here is pretty cool. Anything you design, Tim, throw out some of the ideas we have here. Let's actually
absolutely. We've got
let's go right over
listing.
here.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to show you how to do this, but think about being able to have a link that goes right to a web page that's generated from Canva that you can share out to highlight a specific listing. Or maybe you write up a list of the top 10 restaurants in Fairfax, and you want to have that as a drip when you're reaching out to a lead, someone you're trying to convert. You can say, hey, could I send you a website that has a list of like the top things to do with family, or top restaurants in the area? Like you can have that either to a video, you can have that come to a website, a list of your services offered. This could be something about like what you do as a listing agent. You can have this put together as a nice one pager, but actually have it as a website. So how do we do that? Well, Tim and I put together this nice presentation for all of you. So say we wanted this to be a website about Canva for MBH. What I would do is go up here to share, and I would come down here to more. And right in here, I'm going to look for where it says website. And then I can choose what style. Do I want this to be a presentation style? Do I want this to be a scrolling? Do I want this to be a classic website? I got to move my video box again, Tim, so bear with me here. There we go. Classic navigation. Let's do classic. All right. So then we open the website. So now what I have here is a website where we have a menu. Here's our front page. And I can go down to each page in here. This is a classic design. Preparation. Create folders. Like this is an entire website of whatever you design. So if it's a one pager, maybe you're just doing the scrolling method, right? So maybe over here instead I do standard single page, or I do scrolling, and here's how that looks different. Scrolling is I'm just going to scroll down to each page, right? Pretty cool. Now what I can do is take this link, because this is the website. Once this design's done, copy it, and this can go into a QR code. This can go into our landing pages. If we're dripping this out via email, we can paste this link into an email and then rename the link so it doesn't come up like this with Canva. If you all don't know how to do that, once you paste the link into your email, just right click on it, hit edit hyperlink, and then where it says text to display, you can type whatever you want. Beautiful. So top 10 restaurants in Fairfax, or listing services provided. And that's what this link will show up as in the email. So again, a little extra tip there, not to go too into the weeds. Tim, I know we just wanted to touch on the website feature.
I just think
let your creativity go here, because you can absolutely do a lot with this.
There will be certain things you create in Canva that in order to get elsewhere, you would have to recreate them. It may be easier just to publish to a website, grab that link and share it that way. So just think through this. I mean, so very, very powerful to be able to get our content in front of our consumer very quickly and easily for them. So let's talk about Canva and video now, Andrew. I know this is going to take some time and well worth the investment of time here. So let's jump into video.
Absolutely. So video, we can use Canva to make really engaging videos and again, reimagine some of the stuff that we're just posting as a static post right now into video. So I'm not sure if I'm going to actually, Tim, I'm going to stop sharing and see if I can reshare with sound, because I'd like to be able to show sound for what I put together if I can.
Sure.
So I'm going to stop sharing.
And while you're sharing that, I'll just share that again. Upload your video from your phone into the mobile app, and then download. When you're going to download, go back into the mobile app. Like we'll show you how to download here on the screen, but it looks almost the exact same in the mobile app. So when you hit download MP4, the resolution right into your library on your phone, because most of the time we're going to be sharing onto social media or other places our content right from our phone. So upload and download to through the mobile app is a great hack.
Oh, and here's the coolest thing about Canva. When you move your mouse over this thing, you get these little, whatever they're called here, little magic stuff going on. And someone asked during the regular class, are we going to get into AI in Canva? There are some features in AI that will generate some written content, some ideas for you. We're going to get into that AI generation in our next training. So any thoughts you're having around that is coming in our next training. So the first thing, I've already built this post, but I'm going to show you where to find these. So most of the stuff we're going to make for social media is going to be in a reel format. So TikTok reel, YouTube short, which is going to be your elongated vertical videos. So it doesn't matter to choose. You don't have to specifically do a TikTok. You can do a reel. They all will work. It's just a template is all. It's a template. It's a format is all it is. So I might want to look for Instagram reel plus. You can do the same thing. Let's see if new listing. Let's see if this pulls anything up. Creative new listing. All right. So it's going to give you some examples of like some new listing reels you can do. And all you're going to do with some of these templates for reels is replace the moving video with your own video.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show, I have one already created I'm going to get into, but I just want to show you where you can go and find these reels. Like here, coming soon, stay tuned. And then it can cut to pictures of your listing or video of your listing. So there's a lot. So you're just going to look for these new listing. This is one that's already kind of, it's all it is pictures that are really animated and maybe a video in the middle. But again, ways to reimagine your regular posts, the one we've created, into something that's way better that you can add cool music to and it's going to stand out so much better on your page.
Yeah.
So let's get over to what I've created already. This is just an example of an intro outro reel. This is an example of what I would do if I'm about to list a home and I want to start building some awareness for it. And as you can see, I've already kind of built this reel for it. So all I did is I found one of those reels. And once you come into the reel, the first thing I call your attention to is down here at the bottom. You're going to have a lot of different, I added some here, but this one I think had four video spots, and it had other video in it and text. So I just deleted that. I wanted my own thing. So I took a video walking on the street outside, and I'm just going to play the reel for you first and then get into the mechanics of how we can do some of this. All right. So let's play this, see if it comes through.
Hey everybody, I'm really excited for you to check out the features of this beautiful home. Let me know your thoughts. Can't wait to get this one on the market.
Beautiful.
Share this with anyone looking in Alexandria, Virginia. And if you have any questions, shoot me a DM. All right, cool. So I made that in 6 minutes. I'm not kidding. 6 minutes. The other morning before we did this class with you, I wasn't able to share the audio. So if you're watching this recording, you're getting a little extra bonus. Not that my audio is anything special, but there you go.
No, bro,
So-
it is.
So again, intro, this is powerful. Like just walking down the street. This was me just selfie mode on my camera. You just walk in. You don't even have to be showing the house. You can if you want to, but it's just like, you're going to want to check this new one. It's coming soon. I can't wait to get this ready to show. Then you're going to input your own videos. So how is that? So let's pare this down. Let me delete. So I'm going to work backwards here. And here's your music track, by the way. So the music track is here. We're just gonna delete these. And I'm going to go a little deeper here. Come back to this recording if you need to for this, but this will be here for you. So I'm deleting the music and I'm going to delete the videos. So I'm just going to delete. So I'm going to show you how to create this very quickly. I'm going to keep a couple of these open. Delete. 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 All right. And I'll leave just for the sake of time, I'm going to leave my outro video in there, but let me show you how to add my intro. So all these are timed right now. Don't worry about the timing. To move timing around, you can simply do this. No problem. So what I want to do is first I want to add my intro video. I already uploaded that. So to Tim's point, I record on my phone. I go into the Canva app and I upload right into Canva. You hit the upload button, choose the video, upload. Now, when I come to my uploads, it's going to be right here under video, right here. Boom. So I'm going to bring this right into the first image, and it's automatically going to size
Everybody,
it.
I'm really excited for you to check out the features of this beautiful home.
I don't need to compete with myself here. So let me pause that. It's already going to come into this post. So all I need to do here is make this to be the background. So again, I right click, set video as background. There we go. So now the video is background and it's ready to roll. And if I need to trim it.
Hey everybody,
So maybe I'm like, you know what? I just want it to come right into me talking. I'm just going to trim that and it's be a little closer.
Hey everybody,
there we go. Done. Now I want to add my videos or images of the home, and you don't need to add video. So for this sake, I'm actually going to do images. Again, I'm just going to use stock images. So we're going to do house. Very creative, right? House. We're going to choose our house. Oops. Put it in the wrong place. No worries. Left click and just drag it right down. You see that to what you want it to be. There we go. And I might make this and do it as background. There we go. The one thing with Reels, keep in mind, you're only going to be able to show a certain portion of your photos. So if you're taking the photos for these videos or video, make sure you're recording them like this, because they're just going to fit in here better. Now, because I'm using just stock photos from Canva, I don't have that luxury. So it's going to be a little cut off, but of course what you shoot is going to fit in here a lot better. Then I'm going to come to this slide. I want to do, what was the next thing we did, Tim? Living room?
Yep.
Living room. There we go. Click, right click, set as background. And again, these are 4 seconds. And if you're doing an image, I would really only recommend just around 3 seconds.
Right.
But I'm going to give you a tip of what you can do here too. And then here, I want to do the master bedroom. All right. And again, hopefully you will have these photos already uploaded.
Correct. From your phone.
to your thing.
Yep.
So, and then I have my little outro. So now I have a cool little reel ready to go, right? But I want to add music. How do I add music? And this is where all this editing comes into play. The only other thing you really need to do here before music is you see these little things right in between each one. These are just your transitions. So you can choose a different transition that's going to help it feed or fade. So like you can just mess with those. I'm going to keep them the same, but that's easy, guys. You just click and pick one that you like. Yeah. Like, I like that circle wipe. So I'm going to leave that. Perfect. Then over here, you're probably going to have to go to your apps on the left-hand menu, scroll down where you see more from Canva.
Yep.
And look where it says audio. And now I can either search for audio or I can just choose one that's here for my music. So let's just choose this one. Boom.
One thing that somebody asked in the live was, are these, copyrighted music? So let's just address that. If you're paying the subscription for Canva, you're also paying for these. What Canva partners with and uses is already paid, so you're good. Now, Andrew, sometimes there's a little bit of a caveat. Sometimes Facebook may not recognize or flag something but that's very rare, few and far between. Correct?
Yeah. So this is more for ease of use. Here's why I would use the music in Canva. but I also recommend using the music from other platforms. But here's the one reason why I'm going to show you. So the first thing is just make sure you've dragged the music to cover your entire reel that you're creating.
Yep.
This one is 24-second reel. Right click on the music to set your volume. Since I am talking in this video, I'm going to want the volume probably down around 45. We're just going to give that a try. And then the other thing you can do here, right click, and this is the tip of why I like Canva, especially if you're not talking in the reel and it's just showing pictures or images or whatever. You're going to do beat sync. And then right up here, sync now. And what it's going to do is it's going to make the pictures match the beat of whatever song you create.
Beautiful.
Or select in Canva. So we just created this. Let's hit play. Actually, I got to move this down here first.
Share this with anyone.
So move this back to this front so we can start from the beginning.
Hey everybody, I'm really excited for you to check out the features of this beautiful home. Let me know your thoughts.
All right, okay. That's the other thing. Great on-the-job training here. When you do the beat sync, it may cut you off if you're speaking. So I need to drag this back out to that 7.4 to get my full spiel in there. And then the other thing here is I want it to start with a little more upbeat. So if you see that, I left click and just drag the music around.
Left click and drag. Okay.
Yeah, just to get it, because if you saw at the beginning, there wasn't really any music, it was just the build up. So
Right.
I want that to be. So now did that, it's tweaked.
Hey everybody,
Guys,
I'm really
we
excited
just
for
did
you
this
to
in
check out
5
the
minutes.
features of this beautiful home. Let me know your thoughts. Can't wait to get this one on the market.
Beautiful.
Now it's like, okay, if you're doing pictures, not as cool as video, but you can select the picture and move my box again here. I believe here, let's see here. Click the picture and animate it. So again, I can make this come in. I can make it party. Don't know what that means, but I can animate all of these. So when we're playing them, it does something a little bit. It moves a little bit. Again, breathing or whatever. Try some different things. Pictures are going to be just pictures. Video's better here if you can take some moving shots. Panning the room, panning the front of the
Share
house.
this with anyone looking in Alexandria, Virginia.
How do you adjust the volume?
And if you have any
Great point. So here's this little purple line. Just left click on it to expand and then right click and do volume. That was too loud. I'm going to take that all the way down to 24. All right, good. So now I'm ready. Done. Don't
I'm
overthink
really
it.
excited for you to check out the features of this beautiful home.
Much better, right? Cool.
Beautiful.
All right. So now what I'm going to do is I could save this to my computer, but I don't post a lot from my computer to social. So what I'm going to do is go into Canva on my phone. I'm logged into the same account. I'm just going to pull up this design. It's saved.
Yeah.
It's in the cloud. It's right here. And in my phone, I'm going to click the same button that says share. And when I do that, Tim's showing you right there. Tim, hold that a little closer to the camera for us if you could. That little share button, he's in the design. You hit share and it automatically is going to download that right to your phone. You might have to hit save to my camera gallery.
You'll click download, yes, and then you'll click. Right now, this is the presentation I was in. It'll tell you what do you want to save it as. You'll want to make sure if it's a video, you're doing MP4.
And it will
format.
default. It'll default to whatever the format is based on how you've created the post.
Yes.
So in this case, if I hit share on my computer, kind of the same thing, hit download, it's going to recommend an MP4 video.
Yeah.
You can choose the quality. Of course, if we're going to post it, make sure it's 1080p. I'm not going to download this to my computer because it does me no good here. But if I were a realtor using this, I would download to my phone. And now I could post this directly to my stories.
What's
to
the
my
minimum?
posts.
What's the minimum you would download? 720?
No, always 1080p for video.
1080?
Yep.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Cool. And
all right.
So here we are at sharing. I'm glad you went over that, Andrew. Go ahead.
Before we jump into sharing again, since this is a recording, I'm going to go a bit deeper on the video. This is where you can, because it's Canva, it's pretty cool. You can add more. So I might want to add text and I might want to do a bullet point here and be like, you know, new listing, and just put that on there, change that to white. And again, you get creative with some of this. Oops. But just think about little things that might call someone's attention to what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do that, but I could overlay one other thing I do want to show because this is important. You can do those, remember those, let's see if I haven't tried this one before. Let's try this video overlay. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
So you can find like a video overlay of some kind. That's not what I want. But maybe like a little something that gives a little extra something to the video. I see people do sparkles sometimes, and then you have like a little extra design element in your video. So again, just play around with that, but you can absolutely add some cool effects over top of your video because it is Canva. So keep that in mind.
That's great.
Cool.
Great
All right,
stuff,
Tim, let's
Andrew.
talk about sharing and any best practices there.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, remember, this is a video in Canva. It's a design. You can share this many different ways. You can create a website. You can create a QR code. Andrew, can you just go to share one more time? And let's go to more. So go down to more and just show all the different ways. So somebody said, can I embed something like this in a website? Yes, embed code. Can I create a QR code right in Canva?
Right here.
Yes, right here.
Embed your design.
Yeah,
right there.
Maybe you're on a team and you have somebody who's more technically challenged as far as setting all this up, but you're a team leader, a brokerage owner, and you say, you know what, I want to get this reel, this style with all the brand colors already selected out to the team to use if they like. You can click template link. Well, with that template link, you copy that template link, and now you just gave them the template already created. They would only have to replace the video with their video and the pictures with their pictures. So just think through the efficiency and the multiplication here across your team. That there's the template link. The other thing you could also do if you have a presentation and all you want to say, Andrew and I didn't want to go live here with you guys, although we wouldn't miss that chance for the world. But say we want to take our Canva presentation, Andrew, maybe switch over to that tab real quick for me. And say that we just want to hit present and record. Right up there at the top, it already has present and record, but you can also find it right here. Well, then your face is going to be right down there in the corner, and you're going to be able to just scroll through. So maybe this is more of a, rebuild your credit or first-time home buyer checklist that you've put together in Canva, and you can hit present and record and just walk through a 10-minute recording right there on screen. And then guess what? It's done, and you share that out many different ways. So a lot of just, again, how are we going to get what we create in Canva out to our audience? What's the best way to do that? And play around with it. Again, we're going to try and analyze it and evaluate and then tweak. So there you go. And then also, I just want to share that MBH has put together an amazing wire fraud alert template. You're going to receive that from them for attending this class. So right away, you can take a template and they've created it with one of those clouds and mountains that Andrew showed you. So you can drop your photo right in there. They put a nice box in there for message from your real estate agent. You can type in a personalized message. I think I put in there julieturner@realtor.com. You could put in your own contact information in that template. That's going to come to you. And within 3 minutes, you can have a nice drip out to your entire database because wire fraud is at an all-time high and it needs to be communicated in every way to empower the consumer. So just think about that too, as far as maybe some content as you as a real estate agent could then turn around and get out to your loan officer referrals, of your home appraisers, other people who can drip out your content into their channel. Very, very powerful tool right here at our fingertips. So with that, Andrew, I know we're on resources. Couple of links here that you'll get. MBH has the real estate agent resource link online. That's the handbook. You can literally, what I did with the wire fraud was just download and then copy and paste the text and put it into my design. So right away, they have all of this resource where you can take and create drips with good, valuable content out to your database. Home buyer resources, newsletter content ideas. These are just some websites I pulled from. You can go to the HUD website, this content ideas. And then
Tim, we're going to share these out with the recording, right? These will come out.
Yes. Right. And then also the Canvas Design School. If you just time block a little bit of time once a month just to get in Canva, they have some of the best training videos right within Canva. So again, we'll end there. Thanks for attending the class. Andrew, what would you add to wrap us up?
Well, if you have any questions or want to go deeper on anything, reach out to Julie at MBH. She's incredible and is also a master of Canva in her own right.
She is.
So anything that you need, reach out to her and we'll partner. We can't wait to see you for the AI class. So if you're watching this recording, thank you. And our next one coming up in September is all about using AI to really supercharge your business. I'm excited to bring that one to you. And with that, guys, we'll let you go. Thanks for watching the recording, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.